appetite can actually drive people to sacrifice other fundamental things, which if you line them up, they really may not amount to much. But in the long term, these things become very weighty on the quality of relationship that we have with people. Somebody even said that we spend our energy getting money when we are young. And then when we advance, we spend money getting getting health. We spend our wealth to look for health.
So joining me today is Dr. Sunny Eshiotse once again. Good morning, Dr. Sunny Eshiotse. How are you doing this morning?
Thank you very much. I'm doing good. I hope you are doing fine too.
I am.
Yes, and we hope our listeners out there, we can imagine that the number grows every meeting point. So we are glad you are there, and we hope you are actually enjoying the bounties that God can give.
Indeed.
Yes.
So today, like we always tell you, or I wouldn't say our slogan about not bringing out your pen to take any prescriptions, because we're not going to be giving any prescription. But what we would be doing is talking about normal things that you don't necessarily think affect your mental health, but these are even the root points about things that actually affect us. So today's topic is going to be on how our appetite actually connects with our mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we all know that appetite is that feeling of hunger or desire to eat. But did you know that it is also deeply tied to our emotions and brain chemistry? Appetite isn't just about an empty stomach. It's controlled by the brain and influenced by hormones that make you feel hungry, or even others that make you feel full. But here's the twist. Stress, anxiety, depression, and even happiness can all affect these signals. And when you talk about appetite, it isn't only hunger. We also talk about appetite for success, for adventure, for destruction. These are all appetites. So what do you have to say about this to our listeners, Dr. Sunny?
Yes. And I can imagine when you mentioned appetite, someone will say, what's that got to do with my state of mind? So much. It's like throwing a pebble into a pool of water, and then you see the centrifugal ripples ever widening, all resulting from a pebble that dropped plop into the middle of something, and you see it growing. That's how it is. Appetite is at the heart of it. You just said it. Appetite to hurt someone or to do good, even to yourself, or hurt yourself. Yeah, it's that desire. It's a drive, and it gives expression, or finds expression in the things we do. Appetite is not just tied to your pocket; it's tied to your mind, because that's where it actually begins.
Indeed.
Yes.
And when we're talking about appetite, especially because it's mostly people, when they think about appetite, they talk about food.
Right.
I lost my appetite, or I have increased appetite.
Yes.
Why do we always focus appetite on just food?
On food. Yeah, I think that's why this program even comes up.
Indeed.
To help people see that these many things that we think appear isolated are actually interconnected one way or the other, and come back to affect us or to influence us. So you see that really at the end of this, if it were a class now, we'll say one of our objectives is that at the end of this lesson or this meeting, the listener will now know that appetite goes beyond food. But ordinarily, I think we easily tie it to food, stomach. But this discussion actually takes us beyond that dimension of food. But essentially, you hear appetite, you think of food. Yes. But I think it's that people don't, we are not a reflecting people. What do I mean by this? We don't sit back to reflect. To ask why, how, so what. These are attributes of reflection. You sit down and recall and think about and filter and synthesize and say, okay, I think this is where I should go. We don't do that. That's why many of us will get tied down to the fact that appetite, you hear it, you think food. But it goes beyond even what you put on. Appetite issues. That's right.
I mean, do you know that if we start with like the appetite for food?
Yes.
Food actually, they say it's you're what you eat, and your food actually controls like how you behave and your emotions.
Yes.
So when you eat the right food or the right balanced set of food, you see that sometimes you eat well in the morning and you're feeling really happy.
Yes.
And sometimes you do actually eat and you feel like as if your neighbor is the most annoying person in the world.
Yeah. That's right. As I said, many of these things just interrelate. There are meals, dishes you take and you just feel good. And you want to wave at the nearest person or smile at somebody as you go. But sometimes it just turns around that, it's as if you blame this individual for what you have just eaten. Maybe, I can imagine you walk into an eatery and some particular thing has played some games in your mind and say, okay, that's what I want. You have this, please bring. And the experience is a disaster. So it has a way of if I say poisoning, it just affects your relation, your reactions to people, even though they are innocent. So yes, what we eat, we are what we eat, and what we eat makes us. Yes. So, if I have a good dish of pounded yam and egusi soup, I'm sure I will just go about smiling and shaking hands, right? But there are some other things that could come along as no. This is a bad turn. Yes, so food can influence our mood. Yes, one way or the other, it plays on your mood. And I think it is, the thing is not actually in the food itself, in the food item. It's in how our mind processes the thing and the values of whatever we attach to the food, not the food itself. The problem will not be the food, but the fancy things that we have in the mind about the food. And this one doesn't deliver. So that's it.
Indeed. And when people talk about, I lost my appetite by eating, all of a sudden I was eating and I took 3 spoons and I just lost it. I can't eat anymore.
Yeah. Many years ago, I remember when the newspapers published our names as having passed JAMB and having been admitted somewhere. We came to Auchi here on a bike, my friend and I. And when we saw the newspaper and my name was there, his own was not there. Actually, we stopped near AP there to go to one joint to eat. We did go, but I couldn't eat my own because there was a sudden change of whatever. My mind just left the environment, and it affected. And then my friend didn't allow, because I rode the machine when we came. He said, "Guy, you will not ride this so I don't go and drive us into a ditch. I know you are excited." So food plays some tricks on our mood, and it takes some understanding for us to be able to decide not to let such a thing. Maybe you are just you bring food to the office and settle down, and then have you heard? They have brought promotion list out now. I think your name is not there. Maybe even that spoonful that was going to your mouth will probably return to the food flask, and you say, "Come." You checked it, you checked it properly, and if it turns out that your name indeed is not on the list, that's it. That is how the mind functions. If you do force yourself to eat, it will be tasteless. Many of these factors play on us. That was a fine dish. Keep it up. Someone else says, no, I don't eat such things. That's chaff. It's a function of the mind. So if you take some cuts and suddenly the appetite goes, the problem may not be with the food. It may just be your mind processing some things that should have been delayed, and you decide to bring it forward. If while eating you suddenly realize that, hey, today is 25, and I remember I promised that my creditor that by 27th, that affects that's why debtors don't sleep well. They don't sleep well and don't eat well unless the hardened ones, like the one we read about in Things Fall Apart. When somebody visits him and say, I hope you know you are owing me. He said, yes.
Oh, right.
He said, look can you see this wall? He said, yes. Do you see all these groups of strokes that I have? They say, yes. All those things that you see. That top one is the one I'm owing so person. And then he will say, look at your own down here. He said, even those ones don't disturb my sleep. I don't know why you not let me sleep. I said, I will pay you. I will pay you. There are hardened debtors. In fact, you will be the one avoiding them instead of them avoiding you. You will be the one because it's just fine. They don't worry. Now that money, not let and disturb. I say I go pay. So, but usually, when your mind processes and returns a result of maybe negative, of whatever it is, your appetite goes for it.
That's true. Even when you mentioned that thing about the debtor not being afraid of the one who's owing, that just shows you how mindset really makes a difference in a lot of things.
Correct.
Because sometimes when people are in debt, like you mentioned, they can't sleep. They feel very anxious.
Yes.
But that debtor now is like, I'm living my own life.
You see, I keep pressing.
Exactly. Exactly. He didn't kill anyone, so why should he stress himself? But people would say that that's very irresponsible because you're owing someone. But
yes.
Why would you have that kind of
He's survivor.
Exactly.
He's survivor, yes. People find a way to survive, and especially in times like this, right, when the ends are getting many and they are not meeting. So people just find a way to ensure that, and who knows, maybe that's their own way of ensuring some balance in their mind, in their mental health. It tells you, I can't kill myself. I know I'm owing him, and I know I will pay when I have. So for now,
that's true. So when we talk about the appetite for food now, we know that it's the desire to eat. But we do know it has this double-edged sword in it, like an increased appetite or a decreased appetite.
Yes.
Now this person eats maybe like 2 big spoons of rice. And because of the things happening around them, they could either shift to losing their appetite and then they'll stop eating.
Or eating more.
Or they'll start eating more. Every single minute, every single hour, they're binging. They're eating every single thing. Not because they like the food, but because they just want to eat and they want to use that to cope with whatever is happening around them.
Yes. Yeah. I've read somewhere that many people suffer from obesity. It's not actually, they don't eat at the rate they eat because of a need to fill space. It's not because of hunger. It becomes people just resolve that if I'm not good here, I'm not good there. At least I am good in this one. They don't eat to deal with hunger. They eat to validate themselves. It's self-validation. Like they can say anything they like about me, but me, I know I see I can do things, and one of the things I can do is that I eat. Right. So, if people process the situation in which they find themselves to the extent that their mind resolves that this problem is big, Because of it, I can't eat again. So I can't eat. It's a problem. And you need either way, being double-edged, either way there is a problem. Because the one who chooses to not eat because of a problem needs to be worked on. He needs counseling to get himself back. And the one who resorts to eating to make up for something, you need to work on him to cut down. Because if you starve yourself, it's one side of a coin, and you overbloat, that's another one. Both have medical consequences. So it affects all of us. You just find that you are hungry, but you don't want to eat. Not that you cannot eat, you don't want to eat, but there's a restraint as a result of the processing of information and situations.
So, like, appetite now isn't just based on food, like we mentioned earlier.
No, it's not.
We talk about the appetite for success.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone wants to be successful.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to live under the bridge. No one wants to beg other people. Although there are some people who take that as a profession.
It is, yes.
Or that desire and that appetite for success to be better. Even if I have this, I want more.
Yeah.
We see that the appetite keeps growing. It keeps growing. The more you want, the more you have, you want even more. Like some people.
And it becomes an issue.
Exactly.
Becomes an issue. And such people, when you see people who are driven by a high desire to succeed, generally, they are said not to have very good interpersonal relations with people. Anyone they come across is an instrument. You are either a functional instrument that helps me to get to that next level, or you are a nuisance. That's how they are. They can ride roughshod over you, over your feelings, but it's not that they hate you. It's just that he wants to succeed. And they are unable to appreciate complaints when people make them. Oh, see the way I saw you there that day, I was hurrying to come and greet you. You just did like this and jumped into a car. Oh, yes, I had appointment. I had an appointment. That's how I am, oh boy. As even as I'm talking to you now, I'm going. They don't see that it hurts. They just see that this track either leads to where I'm going or it does not. And if it's going that way, I take it. If not, I just go. So they don't have. And I read stories of people, they are successful outside, but the home front is in a shambles. Madam has a litany of complaints. Children don't have time with their father. Okay, daddy doesn't have time for children. And when they complain, what does he say? I'm slaving myself to my bones to make this family comfortable. See, there's a car to take children to school, and you have your car to move around. I even promised I will get you a driver. You say you don't want. We have solar lights. I have a borehole. I don't know what I don't know what these people want, and they are really sincere about it. Honestly, I don't know what they want. It's because of them I'm with that appetite to succeed. And honestly, some people are like that. It's just, I want to satisfy my family, but there is a cost, and the cost is such that the people you think you are laboring to satisfy, that's the one that affects them. They say they have parents, teachers, this thing today, or we have an activity in the school, and they say our parents should come. Go and meet your mother. I'm very busy. Daddy, they say daddy should come. Go and meet your mother. Something like that. And the child can't see that what you are doing is actually to make him comfortable. And because of this drive, many, as somebody said, we miss opportunity to blend with children when they are young. And then when they grow, they have grown to get other things to fill our space. Then we call for relationship. And he says, oh, Dad, Marisa, I'll call you back, sir. I'm just about to, I'm stepping into a meeting. I'll call you back. I'll call you back. And he's call you back when all of these things were at the beginning. So appetite can actually drive people to sacrifice other fundamental things, which if you line them up, they really may not amount to much. But in the long term, these things become very weighty on the quality of relationship that we have with people. Somebody even said that we spend our energy getting money when we are young. And then when we advance, we spend money getting wealth. Getting health. We spend our wealth to look for health, which is true. It's the same appetite. When last did you check your BP? BP? No, I have no BP. I'm okay. As if BP announces itself. And then at some point you just realize that the thing is there. That's it. And then all the money is there and something. So appetite is beyond food. It can be a drive to succeed, to top my class. When semester results are posted, I go and look. So this boy again. I don't even know what. So it can drive a wedge between me and the boy for something he has not done. Why is he always topping the class? And I read last semester. See him, he's still there. And then I draw lines with him. These are things that are really, they happen in the world, particularly in the corporate industry now, where the indicator that you are succeeding, how do I put it? The indicator that you have chosen the right path is that you're actually succeeding. So we are enemies. We could be marketers together in a bank. And at the end, quarterly or monthly, when the reports are presented, you always manage to be ahead. Obviously, we are not going to be close. We are going to be rivals. And we go out of our way to undo each other to get to that point. So appetite, actually, we need a measure of it to power ourselves through life. But just as you said, there are those who don't say anything wrong if I have to come and beg you. Oh, remember me now, that's your old classmate. When you were in that room 301, I was the other one in 302. Forgotten? I just say I should greet you this morning. Okay. I hope, are you aware I have no job? There are those who will not do that, no matter what. But there are those who have no problem with it. So, we need a measure of appetite to drive us daily. Otherwise, we will not achieve much or achieve anything. Because it takes appetite to hit a target, a desire to improve. So we need some measure. We are not saying appetite is bad. We need a measure of it to power on. Only that we must be sensitive. It's just like your Bluetooth or earphone or whatever. There's a level you push the volume and it changes to red. Tells you your eardrum, you're going to hurt your eardrum. You will like the sound, but you will hurt your eardrum. That's how it is. When appetite is driving us to begin to see people who are supposed to be close to us as instruments. If it breaks down, you look for another one. That's why some people, they don't have functional relationships. You are only useful to the extent that when I call, you do something for me. But once you're unable to do that, that's the end of it. So don't let appetite drive you to the point that a friend, a colleague, a neighbor becomes only an instrument as far as you're concerned.
That's true. It reminds me of a story whereby this fisherman in the forest, he was met by a friend.
Yes.
And the friend was like, what are you doing now? And he was like, I'm a fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
And then the man was like, okay, so how much are you fishing? And he was like, he's fishing for his family. And then they told him that, okay, fine. How much is this? But if you fish more, you could be able to like sell it to people, and have this amount of money. And he was like, okay. And I was like, and then what? And then it was like, when you have that amount of money, you could go to the city and build this and build that. And then the fisherman was like, and then what? And then he was like, when you have that amount of money, you can invest in here, have this, have that. And then he asked him, okay, fine, then what? And then it was, then you can come back and settle down, retire early, and do what you love doing. But the fisherman was like, I like your story, but I like my life currently. And I can go out there, chase all of that, and still come back to this moment. So if I'm already living the life I want now, why would I stress myself and do all that that you considered as success just to come back to the very same point I am? So taking this back to the appetite for success, sometimes we do see that a lot of people confused what other people expect success to be to what success actually is, because like you say, success is subjective. Some people feel like, okay, if they have children, if they've put 5 children and the 5 children are successful, that's their own success. Some people believe that if they have a very fit body, that's success for them. If they can maintain that, they are successful as can be. Some people feel like if they have good health throughout their life, like till they are 100, there's no report, they can even boast that I never went to a hospital, that's success for them. So a lot of people have different, or let me not forget those who finish schools and have 100 PhDs, that's success for them. But a lot of people confuse that success is subjective, and no matter what you choose as your path, you're still successful, but in the first place you have to choose a path in the first place. So that appetite, linking it to other people's expectations, that actually does affect the mental health.
I think that's where the trap is. When you interpret your success from the point of view of other persons, that's where the trap is. And if it doesn't quite measure up to those persons' expectations, then you drive more and you drive faster. I don't like driving in a convoy, except maybe maybe it's within, and the thing in fact there's no opportunity to speed. I've had some close shaves convoy driving, because whether you like it or not, you are cued to the speed of whoever is driving ahead of you. If that guy is reckless, you want to keep pace with him, even though something tells you this is recklessness. But look at him, some people are following me. They have been close, and many of the ghastly, sometimes fatal accidents that have happened automobile result from driving. You will find governors' convoys being involved, because at that point the expectation is that the guy there expects me to keep pace with him. The one following me expects me to keep pace so that I can follow me at the back. And that's when you are in such a mode, you are not in control. You are under the control of the dynamics of whatever is happening. So if I say it's maturity now.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Right.
I don't know how to describe you, sir. Sincerely speaking.
Yes, sir.
But there is a statement you just made that put this my phone on my palm, and that is making me call you now.
Right. Yes.
Let me say, I'm giving out this call mechanically, even unknown to my physical being.
Yes.
Sir, you just said you don't drive in a convoy.
Yes.
Yes. Even in life, I know you don't drive in a convoy.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
I know you're also a literature. You're also a literature student too.
I'm going to use that as my WhatsApp status update. I don't drive in a convoy.
Yes.
Let us narrow it down to the various lives that we live.
Yes.
The elements in our society today, that is, we the humans that made up the society today,
Yes.
More than 95% of us drive in a convoy.
You're right.
We drive in our various convoys to the extent we don't even know our aim of driving within the convoy. Yes, sincerely speaking, sir.
Yes.
Now, let's take a look at it this way. Say, according to Maryam, someone may define his success as being physically fit.
Yes.
Another person may define his success as having up to 10 PhDs.
Yes.
If you, in short, I'm not going to use the kind of if clause to introduce this, I know you know.
Yes.
That now within AFEMA, basically, sir,
Yes, sir.
within the peripherals of a great institution, Aushipoli,
Yes.
within the people that we may say, oh, we are becoming academically sagacious or so to say,
Yes.
sir, there is something that is currently going on.
Yes.
The crave for, let me not describe them as useless degrees, but the crave for degrees that don't benefit our society. Yes. You see someone that you know very, very well, this person does it in short. When it comes to academic uprightness, such people wouldn't have been able to finish their secondary school. We know that. Is it that actually they wrote their SSC themselves? We know that they couldn't make it.
Yes.
What about JAMB? They bypassed it through one means or the other.
Yes.
You see the people carry shoulders, bragging, I'm a doctor, I'm a PhD holder, I'm a this, I'm a that. So one day, I was in a convoy of friends. So, one introduced himself as Dr. So and so. So, when it got to my turn, you all know my name. You know, they say, oh, like this one, doesn't know you. This one, okay, I'm Sir White. You understand?
Yes.
Then the guy was forced to ask me that, I was told that you are so and so. Did I say, is that me? That is part of me. It's my profession.
Yeah.
I mustn't introduce myself, attach my profession or my academic degrees to it.
Right.
Sir,
yes.
If I should tell you, I had a very nice and ample opportunity to say I lambast them, as in fervently. If you say you're a PhD holder, tell me the field in which you procured your PhD.
Yes.
What is the benefit of that your thesis to the societal need?
Yes.
You let me understand these things.
Yes.
We going to school is not just to brag, to carry our shoulders, to advertise ourselves unnecessarily. Who are you? Who are you to the society?
Yes.
What do you have within you? Is it just the papers? I have people, even last week, yes, sir. Someone that I least expected to have passed through the 4 walls of institution. He showed me a certificate from one of the Eastern universities. I know very well that man, based on the nature of his work, never has time to say, maybe he will be in class for more than once.
Yes.
Maybe he was just there to say, okay, do 1 or 2 paroles, you understand?
Yes.
Quote, maybe to get it again, once or twice.
Yes.
In Nigeria, money buys everything. In Nigeria, education, we must be able to say we reorientate, not the way we are taking a look at it.
Yes.
May God safeguard us, because the way we define success these days is not the way success is supposed to be defined.
That's true.
So we are driving in convoys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sawad. I do really agree. Like, a lot of people, they don't like define success in the way it's supposed to be. It's always looking to someone else.
Yes.
What that person is doing and trying to copy.
Yes.
There's always competition, and with that competition comes unhealthy rivalry.
Yes, that's right. And when you, yes, just as he has said, when you get immersed in convoy movement, you really don't have time to personalize the lessons that come from experience. You want to relate the lessons to group psychology because you belong to a group. That's our group psychology. You don't have time. You don't understand that there are things that happen and the lessons are personal. You draw from this. But because you subscribe or abdicate reasoning to group, you never learn. And that's why, if you see, when a convoy comes, look at other road users. Those who cannot keep pay, they will just drive off and let you people pass. And say, see them. Let them go. And just as our wife said, sometimes the people in the convoy do not even know what the goal is. Where are we going? They just say, follow who is driving ahead of you. That's where we are going. Wherever that person is going, that's where we are going. So, you must step out of a convoy to ask yourself, what would this thing mean to me? If I acquire a PhD, just as he said, primarily, yes, I'm supposed to be the primary beneficiary. But if it ends with me, then it's a waste of resources. How do I transfer and translate to the wider society? That's where the thing begins to come up. And as he said, somebody actually said, why is federal government giving approval for the founding of new universities? That do we lack degrees in Nigeria? We don't lack degrees. But if you look around, what do you see? The things we see, or maybe at the end of the day, I think in which is it ABU now? Either ABU or one of the universities in the north. Yesterday, they had a university program, and they were boasting that their faculty of law has the highest number of PhD holders in Nigeria. Their faculty of law. I say, is that our problem? Look at the judiciary. We look at the judiciary. Does it show? Do you see the effect of PhD holdings in the quality of judgments that we have in Nigeria, prosecution of cases? How we glory over nothing. If you have the highest number of PhD holders in faculty of law, in all law these things in Nigeria, and so what? Just as you said, the fisherman, and so what? So what? How does it impact on the wider good? So I think that our appetite should actually be tailored to a goal. And maybe before you set off or settle for the goal, it should also come up, when I get there, then what? Yeah. If I become the first senior advocate of Nigeria from my community, and so what? If the drive is just to become, then that will not be success. It will be really subjective. So you need to step out of a convoy and find out if where the convoy is going is actually your desired destination. If it aligns, fine, but they hardly align. So you need to set your own, and if you wait for external validation, it will be like the man that Chief Ebenezer Obey sang about. The man had his donkey and he was traveling with his son, and the donkey was going empty and they were falling. And somebody made, how can this man is so foolish, you and your son, your son is supposed to be on top of this. That's what the jockey is for. Oh, he put his son. The next one said, how can this man be foolish? A young boy is climbing there, you are walking. You are supposed to be up and the child is supposed to be down. He changed. The boy came down, he was now sitting. The next one said, how can this man be so wicked? As old as you are climbing and your young son is walking. Why not two of you? Two of them climb. The other one next said, these people are wicked. They want to kill this donkey. So there is nothing, if you are waiting for validation, you're waiting for people to validate the objective of your appetite, you will keep driving. You will keep driving. Because somebody is not going to be exactly pleased that, is this up upon all your speed? Now here you reach. And then you are tempted to engage again. So this is the issue. Define your target, and then you can activate the measure of appetite to pursue it.
That's true.
Yes.
And let's not also forget the appetite for adventure and destruction, because we know that adventure is like when you want to like discover new things.
Yeah.
You want to see what you've not seen before.
Yes.
But destruction is like clearing everything off.
Yeah.
It's like making something and then destroying it. So when we talk about our appetite for adventure, to learn new things, like that's what makes some people in school start smoking.
Yeah.
Like they've never tried it before, but what is there that I've not seen? Let me try.
Let me try.
And it leads to a very bad end.
Oh, well.
Or when it comes to Yahoo or Express, some people stumbled by mistake. Let me just see.
How does it
Or
go?
exactly.
Yes.
And adventure isn't only linked to bad. It's also to good. Let me see what it feels like to cook or to learn a new skill.
Mm-hmm.
But this now affects our mental health when we don't do it properly.
Oh.
If we're seeking to learn this or to discover this new thing, and we see that maybe sometimes now, especially when it comes to learning,
Yes.
you want to venture into this new skill. You don't know what the skill is about, but you just want to learn something new. What you've been used to, you're tired of your old life, according to what they say.
Yes.
Now you want something new. So how does this actually affect us?
By nature, humans, we are inquisitive, and I think too that we get relatively too quick to tire of something we are used to. They say familiarity breeds contempt. I keep saying this every time, something new. So the nature actually pushes to the extent that you want to find out what is there. It can lead to success sometimes. That's why we have discussed the contributions of mentors. You need a mentor. Maybe you want to find out what is this thing about. Somebody tells you this is where it goes. Oh, really? Can I cope? I didn't. They say we are digital immigrants, right? But I'm sure we can cope better than some people who are supposed to be in digital. What they call it? Are they indigenous or digital natives? Yeah, we can do better than many of them. So I remember that time before COVID-19 showed up. You know, Sir White will discuss many things because of his unsearchable appetite for technology. You know, he knows so much. So I will discuss how could we leverage some of these things to make teaching and learning exciting. In the course of it, you know, it will show you this, it will show you this. If you do it like this, it can work. And when COVID-19 came, I used that technology. The combination, one floating camera, one other app and things you combine. And there you are. Google Meet or Google Classroom. Students, come here. You can see me talking to you now. I'm writing your class now. You can see your board. This is your empty class. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm in your class. And it was fine. You know, I was like the lizard that fell from top of a palm tree. I praised myself. I say, hey. So I can do it's when you venture, you discover many things. So eventually when Commonwealth of Learning, by reason of past associations and things, just say, come, we want you to anchor this program for us. But you will assist somebody, understudy the person. The next cohort to be you. The thing almost panicked me, but I remember, okay, if the person I'm going to assist is a human being like me, oh, that's how. 6 weeks. Then I say, okay, if you know you want to continue to service us like this, you must go through another training, 6 weeks. I said, no problem, I went through. So I anchor online learning for Commonwealth. And the studentship is dispersed across the globe, all over. So, and when they ask you, what's your background? You tell them, say, okay, how are you? Why? How do you get here? It's appetite to try something new. and you just find actually it makes work easier. If just as well as some of these expression of appetite can land somebody in trouble. What's that? I see you holding a drink. Is that Coke? You say, not exactly. I say, what is it? Well, it's like this. Why do you drink it? You know, if it makes you this and that. Then maybe you now ask me, you want to test? Some people have strayed into drug usage, drug abuse from this. From what is that? What's that thing? And this Yahoo thing. Okay, if you look, this betting, I'm not expressing any opinion here, but I will not allow my appetite for quick money to push me to go and say, okay, Man U and Bayern Munich, they will play. Harry Kane will score 1 goal, and the other, it will be 1-0, and the goal will be scored by Harry Kane. And then they say I win. Hey, that's good. I go again. And this if you know people who do pool staking, they have long-term contracts with luck, because you don't win. The thing is not as clear as people make it believe. I was somewhere to repair something, and somebody was telling me, you see that motorcycle? I say yes. He said somebody came to bet and lost. Then he got angry and bet with his motorcycle and lost. They even told me of one that left there barefooted because he bet with his good shoes and lost. And the way it happens, you try something, you win. You put 5,000, you see, oh boy, that's 50K. Okay, I put 20. The thing returns 100. Then I put the entire 100 plus everything back. I don't think those things are straight as we think they are. So appetite can be beneficial, and can also be ruinous if you once you surrender to it, you are no longer in charge, and wherever the thing goes, it takes you along. So we can challenge. If you are a student, for instance, I think you need to get challenged. You need to up your appetite rating. If maybe I don't know what level. Okay, let's assume you are midway in your study, 200 level or you're 300. Why are you always within the range of the one they say let my people go? Why are you always there? A little appetite can up it for you. So we challenge you. Yes, don't relapse and say, well, one little child, 7 years, he was singing, "What gonna be, it's gonna be." I said, come. I said, where did you hear that? He says the auntie that was singing it in the class. A primary one pillow. What goes up must come down. He said, I was listening. He said, and nothing you can do about it. You can do something, no. Don't let anything go off. Which if it comes down, you know will be ruinous. So let's not abandon ourselves to philosophies that que sera, sera. What will be, will be. That's too fatalistic for me. It means don't do anything. Just hold the steering and press the throttle, and what's gonna be? It's gonna be. Oh no, we need some appetite to drive our relationships, to drive our inputs, to improve our outputs. Even relationship. If what kills a relationship will be is appetite to sustain it. And you say, how is that your friend? You say, well, once in a while, since he moved abroad, the first few months after when he went, we were always calling, but I think everybody is just busy. The thing begins to cool down. The energy stock is depreciating. So appetite can lead to success it can also lead to pain. It can also hurt. That's how it works.
So as we wrap up on today's program, what's your advice to our listeners on appetite? Because we now know that appetite does have a good effect on people.
Yes, it does.
But as well, it has a bad effect if you let it control you.
Right.
So
Yeah,
what's the advice to our listeners so that it doesn't affect your mental health, especially in a bad way?
Yes, you have used the right expression, not to control you. Yeah, and it's all. You see people, the appetite to be trendy. Where is that your phone? I have changed it. But that phone is not up to 6 months. Oh, I changed it. New one came. I changed it. It's appetite. It's not actually that the new one is better functional than the old one. You see people too with what they wear. The craving to wear something that, that birthday. I think it's 2 weeks now. I say, yes. Have you selected what you will wear? It's already a problem. No, I have to, something new. I have to wear something new. So all these things have to be brought under our control. If appetite controls you, then the end usually is not something that you want to celebrate, because you have lost the steering of your vehicle to appetite, and wherever it takes you, into indebtedness, into fractured relationships, into a resignation on life, because you just feel no need. After all, what will be will be. All of these things have to be controlled. Our appetites. I can walk into an eatery and choose that is popcorn I will buy. They will still open door for me as a big man. I can come to a luncheon or whatever hosted by a big man, where the problem is not what to eat. The problem is where to eat it into. I can get there and say, okay, please, you have small chops? Say yes, please give me. And people are busy with swallows. Although we swallow everything at the end of the day, but the real swallow, you see chunky meat, and you make up your mind that yes, all of these things are available, but give me salad, please. No cream, just plain, all those ones. So that's appetite. You can even test it. I think I would like to challenge our people. The next party you attend, can you try something on appetite and say, appetite, I control you today? Then you can talk back to her. Let's see how it goes.
Yes, indeed. So, to our listeners out there, we do see that appetite can actually affect your mental health, whether it's the appetite to eat, or the appetite for success, or the appetite for adventure. And let's not only seclude appetite to these three things we've mentioned, because if you listen throughout the show, we did mention a lot of things that people have appetite for.
Yes.
So whatever your appetite is, perhaps put a control on it. Do not let it control you. Instead, control it, because that's where the goal is. The only way you can actually influence your mind in a right way or in a positive way is if you control the things that affect your mind in the first place. So it's really important to perhaps put a balance into whatever it is you're doing, because moderation and balance is also key to everything. So thank you very much to all those who listened to us today, and thank you very much, Dr. Sonia Eshiotse, for joining me again.
My pleasure. It's always our pleasure here.
Indeed.
Thank you.
So to our listeners out there, whatever your appetite may be, do not forget to control it. And if your appetite is for this program, do stick with us next
Please.
next week.
Don't control this one.
Exactly. You stick with us next week, Wednesday, and we'll give you more by 10 a.m. So this is still mental health right here on Qalam Radio. Do take care, and we'll see you next week.